Okay, you have your NFL Week 2 predictions. So note, I'm filming this after the morning games and during the afternoon games, so I don't know all the results yet. If your first game, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chargers currently play against the Raiders, and the Chiefs play against the Cardinals. Right now, they're still playing, so I'm not sure, but they both look good right now. And it's going to be a Thursday night divisional rival, so hard to predict, but it's a Thursday nighter in Kansas City, so I'll take them. Then you have the Steelers versus the Patriots. Steelers, they're coming off a tie, I think, against the Bengals when they forced Joe Burrow and Bengals 5 turnovers, and those um, Patriots who had 3 giveaways. And Patriots did not look good. The Steelers defense looked really good. And their offense wasn't horrible. I'm gonna take Steelers. Then you have the Colts versus the Jaguars. Colts coming off another tie versus the Houston. Did not look good. The Jacksonville, they had a narrow loss against the Commanders. Their defense still needs some work. They did have a comeback and had to lead. They lost in the final drive. And Indianapolis just never win against the Jaguars, so I'm gonna take them. Okay, then you have the Jets versus the Browns. Jacoby versus Browns coming off a win versus the Panthers, a narrow win, and the Jets coming off a big loss versus the Ravens. Joe Flacco didn't look good, and Brissett wasn't that great, but the Browns team was way talented. That's how they beat the Panthers, and that's coming again this week. They're going to beat the Jets. Then you have the Dolphins versus the Ravens, both coming off um, blowout wins. Yeah, they're both. I don't know. They're both. Ravens could have looked better. Same thing with the Dolphins. They both won their game respectively, but they could have looked better. And historically, Dolphins just don't do great against the Ravens, and I think the Dolphins may struggle versus the Ravens' run game, and so I'm gonna take the Ravens. Then you have a Denver versus Texans. Texans coming off a tie versus the Colts, and the Broncos um, playing on Monday night. Texans, they look good versus the Colts, at least statistically wise. They did good. But Broncos, they still got to play. I think they're just way more talented, so I'm going to take the Broncos. And then you have the Titans versus the Bills. Bills just look great on Monday night. Everything worked for them. Josh Allen, their defensive line. I think Titans, they're still playing against the Giants, so I'm not sure about them. But Buffalo, I think their defensive line is going to cause problems for Derrick Henry and the Titans' offensive line, so I'm going to take the Bills. Then you have the Cardinals versus um, the Raiders. Cardinals currently losing to the Chiefs, and the Raiders tied with the Chargers. And to me, the Raiders just a lot more talented with home field advantage, so I'm gonna take them. And then you have Cowboys versus the Bengals. Bengals, Joe Burrow against Steelers did not look good at all, and their defense kept them in the game, but their offense almost sold the game, and their kickers especially sold the game like twice. Cowboys play on Sunday night, and I'm not sure how they'll look. And to me, I think it's just a bounce back game for Joe Burrow, so I'm gonna take the Bengals. Then you have Saints versus the Bucks. Like I said, Bucks play on Sunday night, and the Saints coming off a narrow win against the Falcons. Their defense wasn't great. The offense wasn't great against not a great team, and the Bucks still have to play. But the Saints have home field advantage, a divisional rival game, hard to predict. I'm just take the Saints. Then you have the Panthers versus the Giants. Baker Mayfield didn't look good, but with the talent on their team, they kind of came back versus the Browns. And the Giants, they're currently playing against the Titans. And to me, Giants, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, and the offensive line is just not that good, and the receivers are average, but they do have a good defensive line, which I think may cause problems for Baker. But Carolina, like I said, good defense overall. I'm gonna take the Panthers. Then you have the Lions versus the Commanders. Commanders almost lost versus the Jacksonville. Came back in a great drive. The Lions, on the other hand, they almost came back against the Eagles, but couldn't stop them on a 4th and 1. Oh, and both of these man, to me, the Lions, I think they played really well against a very talented Eagles team, so I'm gonna take them. The Falcons versus the Rams. Falcons played well against the Saints, but they were the divisional rival, while the Rams looked terrible on Thursday night in the first game of the year against Buffalo. And to me, the Rams are just way more talented and have home field advantage, so I'm gonna take them. And you have Seattle versus the 49ers. 49ers, they look terrible against the Bears. Their offense got shut down. Their defense did okay for the most part. And then Seattle, they play on Monday night. And it's a divisional game, like I said, hard to predict. And the Seahawks are not talented whatsoever. Still, I think I'm going to pick the upside and pick the Seahawks. Then you have Bears versus the Packers. Bears have a big upset over San Francisco, and the Bears are currently playing down versus the Vikings. And not sure how Packers haven't seen them yet play without Devontae Adams, but Aaron Rodgers owned the Bears, even though the Bears defense have great versus San Francisco. But I now do the home field advantage, so I'm gonna take the Packers. Eagles versus the Vikings. Vikings play against the Packers, and Eagles come up and win against the Lions. Jalen Hurts was very good, and the overall team was very good versus the Lions, except near the end when they let the Lions come back. Vikings are currently playing against the Packers, and they look pretty good against them. But I'm still gonna take the Eagles because so they have my NFL Week 2 predictions.